brothers and sisters, generals, family, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and thank you. You know, as I always say, I honor thy ancestors, those who fought so very hard, the righteous brother and sister. Man, they got many of us in that great divine space that we are in. And this is like what you see on my banner here. When you see me in poses like this, and I've done them in the past, these are my protection podcasts. If you see me with this image of me calling down protection, and if you see the three candles, as I said, if you, because I'll show that from time to time, it's three candles means it's the representation of protection, and the three represents the mind, body, and soul, and the see, hearing, and feeling. And those what I just named, I call them the seven symptoms, not symptoms, but seven senses. I think that's how I say it. I might have said it a little different, but something like that. But those six senses of our body, you know, are connected to our psyche. And you know, you hear me talk about the psyche a lot. And so if you see those, you know, on my banner or thumbnail with the three candles, that's what that means. Mind, body, and soul, and everything else righteous that's connected to that. So be thankful and be proud, a righteous proud, if you're standing tall and came through many, many fires. Because as we all know, especially in these times, it can be very, very challenging to pay attention to oneself with so much stuff swirling around us. One, right off the bat, right there, if you pretty much, you know, are paying attention to things that are around us and not really caught up in it, you know, be thankful that you're able to do that, because it's not easy to do sometimes, you know. And excuse me for a moment, I gotta find my remote. I hate when I have my remote, because when I do these podcasts, and thank those for coming in, I appreciate you, you know, those that been commenting and riding along with the brother. Remember, we're leaders and teachers, we ain't no damn followers. We're changing that damn narrative. But anyway, I gotta look for it now. But I usually have my remote around me. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, I had to grab it. Yeah, but I want to get into being a Neo, as you see on my banner here and the title. And I want to speak on cognitive functions. And most, you know, if you had a state of awareness and you're paying attention to your body, you know what that means. Now, that's a word that I just recently started using in one's vocabulary, but it's something that it's important, you know. And I'm telling you, we come across these things. How does us leaders and teachers come across these things? By exploring, learning, reading, you know, being hungry for knowledge, you know, looking up things, you know, just exploring, you know. That's a wonderful space to be, you know. That's why you have to sift through all the distractions and some of the trends and all that crap, you know, and keep our eye on the sparrow, you know, like a podcast I made on the banner. On the banner it showed a highway, but it's like a virtual highway. It's like a loop, and it just shows the road. It looked like a video game almost, but it looks like you're driving on a road, and it's just continuous. It's like a loop video, and it just keeps looping. But the name of it is Protect Our Peace at All Costs. I think that was on the title. I'm gonna put that in the end screen. It just shows the road moving continuously like a loop. It was kind of virtual highway looking, and you can, you know, see the lines in the middle, and you know, the lines that divide the cars. It could be on the left or the right, but I'll just explain how it looks in the banner. And you know, when you're on this road, you know, you gotta be careful of the stops and what exit we make, and especially in this social media world, you know, really have to be control of one's psyche, mind, body, and soul, and focusing on what we see, hear, and feel. Man, it's a wonderful space to be, but you really have to pay attention to oneself and be a Neo. Don't be a sheeple, you know. And how do we know if we're a Neo? Well, my son and I, Lord Lamont, look for the father and son discussion and the book sessions. I got another book sessions. I got to keep going on the book I was reading, The Contender, and I'm on episode 3. I've been saying part 3 and part 2 and part 1, but it's really episode. It got EP, you know, in the title and in thumbnail or banner. But I'm on episode 3 of The Contender, and I'll continue on. It's a book I've been reading by Robert Lipsyte, and he has many good books, and that's a great book to read. And I don't know if those of, many readers out there have read that book, Contender. I'm sure they have. It's probably a pretty popular book, and I'm sure Robert Lipsyte is a popular book writer. But and there'll be many books that I'll read on this journey. That's just what I'm starting with. So, because I'm trying to get myself back into reading, as I said in the past, I got books sitting around here in my studio, and I haven't been reading them. And again, this book I got is from my goddaughter Skylar. Salute. And as I said, sometimes we don't choose books. Sometimes they choose us. And it's interesting the stuff I read in that book. And the characters were Alfred. Let me see if I can remember them. It was Alfred, Sonny, Henry, James, God dang it, Major, and Rick. And I think Rick was like the white coach. He was like a coach that helped the youth or something like that. So those are the characters that's in there. And as I said, Mike Tyson is mentioned in this book. Dick Gregory, rest in peace and in power. Muhammad Ali, rest in peace and in power. These are just some people that's mentioned in this book. And I spoke on this before. Just trying to update those who listen, current subscriber, new subscriber. Anybody that view, I salute you. Thank you. And just keeping you updated, and look for the volunteering podcast. And I'll be volunteering tomorrow. That's a promise to my son and God. Got to get my butt up, get back out there, because I didn't volunteer last week. So I got to get back into it, because when I don't do it, I feel some kind of way. It's like God nags at me. When God has something for us, the real God now, that great divine, man, it's been with us since birth. It'll nag at us when it has a purpose for us. It'll get on us. That great divine mama nature are like parents. That force comes in our spirit, and it tells us, you need to get up off your ass. This is not what I called you to do. That, at least, and that's what I get from that force. Because it's for our best, right? Like good parents. They do it they're looking out for our best interest. So that's that positive force. Be thankful if you have a divine spirit and you're able to, keep that needle and that compass, as a lot of us use as in analogies. Be thankful if we're able to keep that needle straight, because as we all know, especially in these times, man, that needle can be jumping all over the place. But be thankful if you're able to focus. I'll say from 1 to 100, if you're able to focus at least 90% of the time, be thankful. But we want to be 100, right? We strive to be 100 at most of the times. But when you meditate, as my son Lord Lamont and I talk about, when we take meditation serious and really do it, it will bring a lot of clarity in our lives, and things that part of our brain that we let lay dormant, that powerful part of our brain, that exploring part, that knowledgeable part, that real authentic part of our brain. Let's tap into that. That's what my son and I was talking about, relating to hip hop and music. Man, our artists out there, brother or sister, if they can tap into that unstoppable God part of their brain that is done with the BS, I'm telling you, man, we could overturn this world and take this world back that has been taken from so many of us. You know what I mean? Real talk, and I mean it from the pit of the soul. Because a lot of us have been through fires. My family, myself, my son, Lord Lamont, we in the age where God is got the spotlight. It's put us on the spot, has given us what we already have had inside, actually, like a lot of us reachers and teachers speak on. Salute. Things we already had in us, It's just, sometimes we run across maybe person, place, or thing. I'm talking about something positive. It just sometimes it could be a child. It could be anything. I'm talking about anything that's connected to that positive divine force, and just pull things up out of us, mind, body, and soul, that we never knew we had. And that's whatever gift that is, because there's a multiple gifts that great divine has for us, But in the man's world, they try to size it down to we can't do this, and no, we can do so much in this body. Real talk. And go above and beyond, as I love to say. I haven't said that in a while. And ask yourself, are you a Neo? And again, I say, be a Neo. And I'm going to speak on some things maybe to let us know if we're a Neo, and things to become a Neo, and ways to stay a Neo. And what is a Neo? Now, we know what Neo is. It's the the guy in the Matrix, right? And I love to use this analogy or example as I told my son what I thought about. We made a father and son discussion. We talked about having be at peace with the real God. And I gave, he gave his little perspective and I gave mine. And one of my examples I like to use when we have that real peace with that God spirit within. I'm not talking about no floating on a cloud. I'm talking about a disciplined God spirit that, man, just won't let us take no nonsense and keep forging forward like the generals we are. Now, my example is when Neo was standing still, or any movie we've seen where it shows some person standing still and everything's moving real fast around them. That's what having that God spirit deep within is like, to me, my perspective, but it can take time. I always got to throw in there. Sometimes it could take a lifetime. It took me a long time. Real talk. It took a long time to finally have that peace where nothing wavers me or make me feel down. I've gotten to a point where stuff like that bounces off. And the way to do that, my brothers and sisters, those who listen, is to focus on our emotions, things we see, hear, and feel, like the 3-candle protection thing I was talking about. That's why you always hear me say, I call down that great protection for ourselves, from ourselves. You hear me say that a lot. Because, again, as most of us know, we can be our own worst enemy. Forget this shit on the outside. If we can't win that battle deep within, we've already lost. I'm just going to say it flat out like that. You got to win that battle within. It's utterly impossible to win on the outside, because when you won there, it's on and popping. Real talk. So, and like my son Lord Lamont say, I'm dead ass. Real talk. That's where the fight, that's where the worst battles, the hardest battles are fought, is in that psyche, baby. Real talk. So I wanted to speak on cognitive functions. I think I mentioned that already, but cognitive functions. And this is a new word for me. Yeah, I did speak on this, but I didn't get to finish. And it brings me back to, this is how we can become that Neo I was just explaining, that part in Matrix when he's standing in firm and nothing moving around him. And he realized who he was when he stopped those bullets and all those good things. Those are all representations of the power that we have within. We can do so much more than this human body. That's why it's in the Bible and in most books you hear it say don't listen. I mean, again, like Eddie Griffin said, it's a lot of different messages come from a lot of different ways, different religions. But like Eddie Griffin said, and salute to Eddie Griffin. I don't know, for some reason, jewels he drops just stayed with me, and I refer to him every now and then. But some Eddie Griffin said, a lot of different messages. It can come the Christian way, it can come the Muslim way, it can come the African way. But when it all boils down to it, never listen to the human flesh. And why is that? Why does most religions or positive sayings or books and stuff say that? Because there's so much more that we can do. That's why we can't listen to the human flesh, because that's our kryptonite. It stops us from seeing that power deep within, and we have to think. We can think cosmic, we can think powerful, we can't think things are impossible. That's what stops us from being a Neo, and gotta be careful, because my son and I, we speak on things in the media and stuff like that, but you got to know your limitations, and that's brother or sister, and this is nothing nobody, especially those who have reached a heightened self-awareness, already know this, but I'm just kind of reconfirming. You got to analyze and step back. That's what Malcolm taught us. And, that brother, he was a great analyzer, and I still listen to him today. I listen to him every now and then. I got a podcast on here, with Malcolm X on it, speaking, and has my children at the beginning of it, and he definitely was locked into his cognitive functions. So that's what help us become a Neo and stay a Neo, is focusing on our cognitive functions. Now, what are cognitive functions? They are things that deal with our memory, our nervous system, how we behave, how we perceive things, how we deal with emotions. And that's the key to centering ourselves, is dealing with those emotions, because emotions can be a mother hubber. Real talk. And again, it could take almost a lifetime to master one's emotions. But I'm telling you, when you do it and you see the results, and you got to kind of take the bullet on certain things. I'm not talking about letting person, place, or thing run over us. But sometimes take a moment and pause. Take a pause for the cause and really analyze things. I mean, really, really analyze things. Check things out, whether it's in our personal lives, whether it's in the world. Again, person, place, thing. And I've said in the past, treat this life like a noun and break it down. Y'all know I like to rhyme. But yeah, look for the music that I have on here and my son Lord Lamont, and I just uploaded a song recently for my cousin, rest in peace and in power, L'Oreal Lyrical. I told you I'm gonna be uploading music from her, and it's more to come for myself and Lord Lamont. And I'm gonna get other artists too. My son and I were talking about that. There's some artists on rap fame. And again, I want to put that disclaimer out there. Most the music that I make, and you probably hear my son make, are not my beats. They are beats from rap fame, and they are other artists on there. And I wanted to play some of their music, and I'm a message go on there and kind of interact with them and let them know that I'm gonna play their music on my channel. Kind of vibe with them and connect, because it's some good artists on there, and they are very supportive. So salute to the beat makers on rap fame and the artists on there. So just want to put that disclaimer out there. Not trying to get paid or nothing like that. I can't anyway, because they're not my beats. So I'm just doing what I love, So those who listen, thank you for the comment I got recently on the song, actually on Give It Our All. I can't remember what the name of the person was, but they commented and they say they'll never put their flag down again, and they're standing tall. So salute to that individual. I can't remember what their name was, but salute to that individual that commented on that song, and all the other comments, and those who view, even if you don't react. I thank you, because there are some good reachers and teachers out here, amongst the ones that's sometimes, I'm telling you, this social media can be a very, very powerful thing. So I don't want to be like, I'm trying to act like I'm better than other people and saying people caught up, because this, as we heard from many great brothers and sisters, this thing can be very, very powerful. So trust me, I understand, but we just got to be aware. That's why we have like-minded reachers and teachers out here to show us and show us, and we got to have them limitations on what we indulge in and perceiving. And again, folks, this for me too. I'm not one to try to tell people to do this and do that. I try to live by it too, because again, the great divine don't play with me. I'm telling you, it nags me, like I was just saying a few minutes ago. So if you feel a nagging, if you have a purpose, God, Mother Nature, and that universe is going to nag at that soul. So listen to it, because it's a good thing. You can never go wrong with something positive, real talk. So going back to how we know if we are Neo, and as I said, master one's emotions, limit ourselves on social media, be analytical in our personal lives, family, children, significant other, if we have one, and most of all, ourselves, and be that righteous ripple effect. I don't care how hard it seems, it just make us stronger, So cognitive functions, we pay attention to that. Do things to sharpen our memory. We have to get rest. Watch how we eat. That's this for me too, folks. I don't eat healthy all the time, but when you are aware, we begin to make changes, brother or sister, younger or older, family member. We begin to make changes. Like, one, don't eat late at night. That's I think that's key, and that's where a lot of the weight gaining comes in, and the heart problems, the breathing, because when you gain weight, it affects your heart, your breathing, so all and man, it's so many things and divine tools that play a part in being a Neo, and that's one of them, because eating is a part of spirituality too. We can't get so wrapped up in spirituality and not forgetting that some of the physical things we have to do. And and I would say take vitamins, that's good, but I would say eat something natural that has vitamins in it, like 100% orange juice. Making sure it's real orange juice though, not artificially flavored and all that. I always say read labels, stuff like that. But I know 100% orange juice is good. Cranberry juice, 100% now. The real cranberry juice is good. I spoke on these things before. Cranberry juice is good for the, especially for our black man, a prostate. And I actually had a Caucasian guy tell me that cranberry juice is good for the prostate, and pickle juice is good because it has vinegar in it. And but pickle juice fights off toxins in one's body, So, but you have to drink a. I remember in the definition, you have to drink a significant amount of pickle juice, and it does. It fights off toxins in one's body. It cleans you out because it has vinegar in it. And we all know pickles are made from cucumbers, and I don't know exactly how they're made, but I know they're made from cucumbers, which cucumbers is good for you too. So that's just some of the things we come across, when we are a neo, because there's no such thing as a dumb neo. You're not a neo. It's only one way. It's many ways to become a neo, but it's got to be righteous ways, because we're all on different walks. But it's about being awakened in one's mind and knowing oneself and one's body. So be a neo, don't be a sheeple. Real talk. So again, you want to stay focused in this life and really pay attention to person, place, thing, ourselves. Refer back to the movie Matrix, and you will stay afloat and stay on point. Keep them pistons firing. All right, now let's get back into cognitive functions. And this is a word I just recently started saying, actually, because I spoke on cognitive functions in a summary I read. I don't remember what podcast it was, but I remember I said I was going to come back and I was going to go a little deeper on cognitive functions and how important it is. And what brought me to this is a discussion my son and I had, Lord Lamont, salute, on a recent podcast we did, where the mind goes. And it was a second part to a podcast I had did by myself called Where the Mind Goes, the Body Goes. And we were speaking on this pattern of celebrities that pass out. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the lighting or it's the cameras. I don't know, but it's a pattern, brothers and sisters. And I'm sure anyone that listens to this, just think back throughout history. It's been so many celebs that been on stage and passed out, and their cognitive functions give out. And this is politicians, celebs. We've seen it, over and over. So, or we've seen those clips where, I'm not gonna say names, and this is basketball players or movie stars or whatever. We've seen those clips where they just freeze and they don't move, and people just continue talking and doing the interview like it never happened. I remember that, and so that just that it kind of links into the cognitive function. What makes that happen? Why does it happen to most celebs? In my personal life, I've never really seen that happen to individuals in one's personal life, unless we have someone in our family that's up in age or something like that, and we get older, things wear down. But that's why, while we're young and while we are aware and can see and somewhat see, and our body is somewhat healthy, that's when we do things to keep ourselves sharp. And so that great divine can preserve us into our elderlyhood. You know what I mean? So, and I think just one's opinion, that's why I say being a celeb is not what it's all cracked up to be. It's way more, it looks glamorous and all that, but it's so much crap behind the scenes, and that tears your body down. Because when you don't get rest and you just working, running, you never stop. And then, especially for those who, no, I'm not talking about brothers and sisters that's aware of the power of social media. You got those that are aware, but those that's caught up in it, and which I don't make light of it, because I know how powerful this thing are. But that's why we have to study and do things like I'm doing now, and so many other great teachers out there are doing. Brother or sister, salute. And just pay attention how this thing can, because this too can tear us down. This social media, it can mess with our eyes, and it's a ripple effect, but the wrong ripple effect, a negative. We don't want that. So it's almost the same thing as these celebs, and working all the time. You're in front of this camera, this lighting, and I don't think some of that is good. There's different lighting and all that. I think that plays a part on some of the celebrities' cognitive functions. Because we mentioned Wendy Williams passed out, which I'm hoping she's okay. I don't make light of it, just an example. Because I never want to see nobody suffer. Because great divine. Well, as I heard a great brother say, the very thing we make fun of and laugh at, would be the very thing that make us cry. So I've been through struggles. My son, Lord Lamont, salute members of my family, people I've heard maybe online or in the world. I don't make light of no one's suffering. So that's just an example, And we mentioned, Wendy Williams. It was others that we mentioned, but she was one of them. And, and when you overwork your body and don't pay attention to it and do things to keep it preserved and sharp, it will break down, So that's what brings me to cognitive functions. And I really want to know what it means and go deeper. Because again, I just recently started using this word in my vocabulary. Again, when we explore, we seek knowledge, we'll amaze ourselves, brother, sister, younger or older, family member, So, of course, I wanted to read a little summary of the cognitive functions because, I don't like the word hate, but I hate when I forget something. I came home from work last night, and this goes back to what I said when we were working and just not paying attention. I left my key in the door, and now it's this screen door. It's like a screen door, then the main door. Now the door was shut; it was locked. Nobody could have got it. But what if I would have left that door unlocked? So I was like, it made me mad. I was like, if I would have left that key in there and that door was unlocked, somebody would have got it. They would have had a whole access to my house, my car, So it really made me mad. So I was like, I have to work on my psyche, work on oneself, keep oneself sharp. I can't be doing that. So that's what really brought me to this podcast. Because like I say, this for me too, folks. Because, hey, we don't age, we get better. But, but we also can't be stupid at the same time. We got to be aware, when we get up in age, things tend to wear down. And this brother or sister, it's for my young brothers and sisters. It's going to come, So once we reach that age 50, that's the pivotal point in our lives, It'll show what we've done, where we're going, how we are. I'm telling you, being 50 ain't nothing to play with. So as my little statistic I like to use, from 17, 18 to 50, you better get your shit together. You better figure out what you want in life. Because life don't give a damn how we feel. Real talk. So got to keep it real like that. That's for my young brothers and sisters. So do what we have to do. Stay in a positive space. What we do righteous in the present benefit us in the future. I say that a lot. Life experiences is the best teacher. Mother Nature, life, great divine universe. So, and I didn't like that. Forgetting, I didn't like that. So what do? We study in that area. We come up with ways to be sharper, like things I mentioned a few minutes ago: eating, resting, meditating, anything, all the divine tools that a general needs. So I want to read this little summary of cognitive functions, or cognition. 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 I like that. All right, so we're gonna have a meditative moment. And remember, we're leaders and teachers with a student spirit. We're never followers. So let's go. Examples of cognition include paying attention to something in the environment, learning something new. That's, like I said, exploring, being hungry for knowledge, being, loving more, living more, laughing more. And all those things play a part too. All right, I'm going to start over. Examples of cognition, Cognition include paying attention to something in the environment, learning something new, making righteous decisions, processing language, sensing and perceiving environmental stimuli. Now we're talking about righteous things now. Solving challenges or problems, and using memory, sharpening our memory, like I said a minute ago, but it's best to do these things when we're young, because I also read it's a rarity, but you can get like dementia and things like that. You can get it at the age of 30. It just depends on how we treating our body. You beat your body up, it's only a matter of time before it tears down. Now, what is beating up our body? It's not getting rest, overworking ourselves, or living in a toxic lifestyle, because that can tear the body down too. Because we have to have what? Less stress or no stress at all. Remember, brothers and sisters, stress is a killer. And that's on the list too, of being a neo. And if you really want to focus on stress and prevent it, look it up. And that's when we in the age of information. If it's something we're having a challenge about, whether it's personal, it's in life, or something we see in the media, or just something we're kind of questioning or whatever, look it up. Get to the core of it. You'd be surprised. A thought we get, a feeling we have, look it up, pinpoint it, so we can be parallel with that great divine. So that was a little something I wanted to speak on cognition, cognitive functions, so focus on our cognitive functions, and we will be a neo. And again, don't be a sheeple. What is a sheeple? An individual that is just swayed by everything, and just get feelings and thoughts and just walking through life willy-nilly. That's a recipe for chaos. No, those who are aware, our generals, brother or sister, younger or older, family member, man, we ain't missing a damn thing. And you might every now and then, because no one's perfect, but we can always have what? Perfect intentions. I used to say that a lot. So in order to be a neo and stay a neo, we have to master one's emotions, sharpen our cognitive functions. I'm telling you, we'll be unstoppable. Pay attention, and I'm telling you, it's best when we're younger. But some of us, it took a lifetime. Again, I really didn't. The light bulb really, I mean, I got to be honest, like in my 40s, I was okay. I was doing good. But I'm telling you, the light bulb really didn't pop on till I hit 50. I mean, I just had to be honest like that. Everybody's journey is different. But when we are honest with oneself, that's what definitely make us be a neo too. When we stand tall and firm with all this chaos swirling around us. If you can do that, not be a sheeple and not have to jump on everything, and and kind of analyze and and check things out before we just jump off our impulses, because as I used to like to say, just take a look around, folks, whether it's social media or in the world. Toxic impulses are out of control. So don't be a part of that loop. It's time to break the cycle, the cycle of beefing, rap battles. Like my son, Lord Lamont, like we said, are we paying attention to our cognitive functions? Because a lot of it will come back and bite us in the ass. We're not going to be young forever for those who are rap battling and beefing. Okay. Is that the legacy one wants in his history? Because we got to remember, folks, we're going to be old one day, like I said. And all these things we're doing now are going to come back up later. Just think about it. The P. Diddy situation, all that stuff. And when he gets old, up in age, like 80 and stuff like that, that's going to be terrible memories. Real talk. So we got to create wonderful neo memories and be proud, a righteous proud, not the proud where we fall and we conceited and all that kind of crap. No, we talking about a righteous proud that we learn from the fires we went through and we're not stuck in the what? Woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome. So we always got to think about that future, brothers and sisters. And man, when we're righteous in the present and we know that it's going to benefit us in the future, because that's what one thinks about. I think about all the children that one has connected with along the way, even through the challenging times. I thank that great divine. Thank that great divine for any adult out there. I thank that great divine for one, and people in my family that helped me and helped many other young brothers and sisters in my family. Those who out there, volunteer or faculty or parents, brother or sister. Let's be thankful for those who have helped the youth along the way, because there are those out there. You got a lot of neos out there, as I said before, but how do we know if we are a neo or those we are connected to are neos? Are we in the right environment? Like I said in that summary, it's all about the environment we are in within our soul and our outer environment, because what we are inside is what we'll see on the outside. What they say is we are what we attract, or we attract what we are. So if we are righteous within, it will show on the outside, so we're not doing nothing wrong. We have nothing to worry about. Now we're going to do, thoughts going to come in our mind, and we're going to do things in this human body. But if we stay a neo, we'll be able to fight off shit. Real talk. So, and get to the core of ourselves and stick with that meditation. And why is meditation so very important? And why do you hear so many of us speak on that? Because that's when that creativity, solutions, and righteous thoughts come up. when we by ourselves, quiet, even close our eyes if we have to, for a good 10, 15, 20, as my son Lord Lamont said, maybe even 30 minutes. It's wonderful. It's like recharging ourselves every morning. You hear me say all the time, folks, set that tone every morning. Whether you got something planned or not, doesn't matter. And that's how we connect to those cognitive functions too. That meditation, it keeps us grounded, so to speak. I don't mean like where we ain't doing anything. I'm talking about just keeping us locked in to that divine zone. It's wonderful, man. When we went through the layers though, and we earn it, let's earn that space with that great divine zone, man. Because once we locked in, it's no holds barred in that righteous world. Real talk. So, but it takes work. Some get there soon, some get there later. But if you got a righteous heart and you on fire, you a general, you'll get there. Trust me. So be a Neo to my brothers and sisters, generals, my family, children, their mothers, I'm not playing. I'm calling down protection on all of us from that great divine Mother Nature. Man, protection for ourselves and from ourselves. Real talk. So those who have listened, thank you for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. I didn't say that at the beginning, did I? I was ready to speak, That's why it's good to take meditative moments and, kind of get off social media and take a break. Because you feel refreshed when you get back on, and keeps you renewed and kind of keeps you from getting burned out. Because we want to keep a fresh connection with that divine spirit, within ourselves. It's wonderful, So again, look for the book sessions, the book contender. The last one I did was episode 3. And look for more father and son discussions. We usually do them on Fridays, and look for that. And more music, as I said, from my cousin L'Oreal Lyrical. Rest in peace and in power. Any artist that's not with us, may they rest in peace and in power. Brother or sister or family member that we held dear that may have transitioned, may they rest in peace and in power. And thank those for coming in. And as I say, folks, man, you learn nothing else from me on this channel. Let nothing stop you from being a Neo. And a Neo is something that's in the center of all this bull crap around us, and seeing this life for what it really is, and focusing on that inner core. What is the inner core? Family, brothers and sisters, children, family, significant others, and most of all, ourselves. So to my generals, my brothers and sisters, family in the world, online, may we all keep that ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever we are right now. Salute.